Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Miami Hurricanes land a massive commit on the 2024 trail and four-star wide receiver from St. Thomas Aquinas, Chance Robinson. This is a really interesting recruiting class for Miami. You're seeing a lot of the haters, if you will, say, oh, like Miami kind of fizzling out with all that recruiting buzz. I don't think so, right? In terms of commitments this early, yeah, it might be a slow start, but you see all the talent that they're attracting on campus. The guys they had at their spring game Friday night, the guys they've had on campus the last couple weekends, extremely impressive visitor list. I expect this recruiting cycle for Miami to pick up significantly in terms of commitments. Before we get into what this class could look like and what you're getting with a guy like Chance Robinson, just want to say thank you to you guys. Looking at like almost 5,000 subscribers, which is truly just incredible. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have shown. So again, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, especially the Miami Hurricane fans. You guys have been extremely passionate with all the recruiting talk, so I can't thank you guys enough. Let's talk a little Chance Robinson first, and then we'll talk about what this 2024 class could really look like for Miami. Chance Robinson, the biggest thing I would use to describe him is just a very polished wide receiver. I used a couple more than one word there, but he's a very polished wide receiver. You see kind of two different types of wide receiver recruits on the recruiting trail. You see the hyper athletic ones, the track stars, the guys who run super fast 100-meter times. And then you see just really good wide receivers who are extremely productive. That's Chance Robinson, right? He's not the biggest or fastest, although he has a good frame and he's fast. Like, you don't become a top 150 dude nationally if you're not big and fast. But what's most impressive when you check out his film is how technically sound he is running routes. And this is a position for Miami that they haven't necessarily struggled recruiting the talent. It's been a little bit more of a development thing for Miami, but this wide receiver room has struggled for a long time. And Coach Beard, I'm very excited for in Miami. And the more offensive talent that you can acquire for him to work with, I think you feel really good about. But Kevin Beard is a guy that I think a lot of people are looking at in terms of let's get this wide receiver group for Miami going. Now, I want to take us to Chance Robinson's film and really kind of get what we're looking at, right? Chance Robinson he's a guy that you're going to see him win at the line of scrimmage better than a lot of other guys in terms of in this 2024 class, right? He's not necessarily the fastest or biggest, and we said this, but he's a guy that really just knows how to create separation immediately. You see dealing with press coverage here, just wins right off the route, and then really good ball skills and tracking, which is something that I think not enough people talk about, right? You have the guys who are super fast and athletic. Can you go track a football and make a play on it? Chance Robinson certainly can do that. And again, once you see press man coverage, beats it with the release, and then wins vertically. And again, he's a fast guy. I feel like I'm understating how fast he is. He's also a very good athlete. Now, what I want to do is take us to what this class for Miami could look like in 2024. Talking about the visits, just the pure visitors they've had on campus for Friday night spring game. That's impressive in and of itself. But you look at the prospects that they have that are really considering Miami. I mean, it's a laundry list of 4- and 5-star prospects just at the spring game, right? 5-star Aiden Breland coming over from Mater Dei in California. 5-star defensive lineman Justin Scott. T.A. Cunningham. Obviously, Chance Robinson was on campus. Colin Simmons, rumored to be kicking it around in Miami as well. What you want to look at, though, is the top targets for Miami and the traction they have with some of these recruits, right? David Stone being the most interesting one, right? Kind of Cristobal to Oklahoma, kind of an Oklahoma-Michigan State two-horse race there. He's been on campus at Miami like 3 times in the last month, and you're feeling really good about potentially getting a guy like David Stone. Josiah Trader, another guy you feel good about. Jarrett Gibson from IMG Academy, also a guy that has been on campus a lot. Brandon Baker, Mario Cristobal is going to recruit the offensive line extremely well. Aiden Breland was on campus for that spring game. You look at this. I mean, a ton of guys in the top 50, top 100 nationally. Yes, Miami hasn't necessarily landed a bunch of big splash commitments in this 2024 class, but you're feeling really good about where Miami stands in terms of building this 2024 class. And adding a guy like Chance Robinson is certainly a step in the right direction. Because when it comes down to it, you got to recruit that state of Florida. It's one of the most talented high school football states in the country. If Miami wants to get back to where you want the U to be, it's winning those recruiting battles against teams like Florida State, against teams like the Florida Gators. Chance Robinson is a perfect example of that at a position that I think Miami really, really struggled, has struggled in the last 5 years. And you got a guy like Nathaniel Joseph coming in that 2023 class. You're feeling good about where this wide receiver room is going for Miami. And again, I think it's early. I would not be surprised if Miami pursues another quarterback in this 2024 class, but Mario Cristobal, like, pretty clearly targeting the trenches. He wants his team to be more physical up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Obviously, you take a look back at the 2023 class, getting a guy like Pancake Honcho and Francis Maioga, like, you feel good about how the trenches are on the offensive side of the ball. Then you look at the defensive side of the ball, getting guys on campus like David Stone, like Justin Scott, like Aiden Breland, 3 5-star guys on the defensive line who are physical freaks. It's clearly what Mario Cristobal is trying to do. You're always going to – Miami's going to recruit speed. Like, there are a bunch of very good athletes in the state of Florida that are fast and you can get on campus. What I think Mario Cristobal is going to do to try to set himself apart in the ACC is get some more physicality. I'm very excited to see how this 2024 class ends for Miami. There's not many programs in the country who have had more traction in the last 12 months on the recruiting trail than teams like the Miami Hurricanes. So I'm extremely excited. Again, Miami fans, if you do enjoy it, consider subscribing to the channel. I have a feeling it's going to be a busy next couple months in terms of Miami football and recruiting. So again, can't thank you guys enough for tapping in, listening to the fellas. We appreciate all the support you guys have shown. Wanted to do a quick one, though, Friday night after the spring game. Appreciate you guys checking us out, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.